All right, so if you've been trying to get a website or any kind of business off the ground online lately, you've probably felt it, right? It's like the rules just changed overnight. All the old tricks, the SEO hacks, the whole just pump out content thing, it's just not cutting it anymore. The playbook we all used, even just a couple of years ago, it's basically obsolete. So the big question is, what actually works now in 2025? Well, that's what we're here to do. Let's crack this new code together.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to take a quick look back at the old traffic playbook, how things used to work. Then we'll get into the good stuff, the moment when AI met reality. It's a bit of a cautionary tale, honestly, about a shortcut that turned into a total dead end for a lot of people. After that, we'll dig into Google's new rules, because that's the key to understanding why everything changed. And from there, we'll start building the new playbook. We're talking about building real authority, using a smarter toolkit, and finally, the one thing AI can never ever replicate, a real human connection.
So yeah, let's start with a little trip down memory lane. For the longest time, the game was super simple. It was all about chasing numbers. The main goal, get as many eyeballs, as much traffic to your site as you possibly could. And everyone was using the same, pretty standard set of tools to do it.
But before we get into the tools, let's just ask the most fundamental question there is when it comes to the internet. What is the one thing, the absolute lifeblood that every single website needs just to survive?
Yep, it's one word: traffic. I mean, without it, you could have the best article, the most amazing product in the world, and it just doesn't matter. It's invisible. That whole "if you build it, they will come" idea, it's a complete myth online. You have to literally bring people to your digital doorstep.
And for years, this was the standard toolkit for getting that traffic. You know the drill. You had your social media marketing on Facebook, Twitter, all that. You had your content marketing, blogs, guest posts. You had your email lists. And of course, paid ads. But the real heart of it all, the big puzzle everyone was trying to solve, was SEO. How do we rank on Google? This was the playbook, period. And then, AI showed up. And man, it promised to be the ultimate cheat code. A way to just supercharge that old playbook, especially the content part, on a scale that was just unimaginable. But for a whole lot of people who jumped in head first, that shortcut led straight to a brick wall, a dead end. This quote right here just perfectly sums up the mindset during that AI gold rush. The thinking was so simple, right? If content is king, then an endless army of AI-written articles has to be an unbeatable empire. And so people just started churning stuff out. Hundreds, even thousands of articles. It was all about volume, volume, volume. But that whole theory, it was about to have a very rude awakening. And this is what happened. My site got smashed. This comes from a really amazing case study by a YouTube channel called LearnWire. They actually documented the entire life of a website called Newbie Gardening, which was built completely from scratch using only AI content. And for a little while, it looked like it was working. It looked like a huge success story. And then, well, as the creator himself put it, the site didn't just drop in traffic, it got smashed.
So let's put some real numbers on this. At its absolute peak, this AI-powered site was pulling in 2,700 page views a month. Now, for a brand new site in a pretty tough niche, that's incredible. It really looked like they'd found the cheat code. The strategy was working.
And then a Google algorithm update hit, and look at that. Traffic just fell off a cliff. From 2,700 page views a month, all the way down to 300. That's a 90% drop. Poof, gone. The shortcut led right off a cliff. So the big question is, what happened? But here's the thing. The problem was even worse than just a traffic penalty. It's not like Google just pushed the content down in the rankings. It actively de-indexed it. Look at this. Out of almost 650 AI articles they published, Google basically decided that 78% of them were trash and just removed them from its search results entirely. It wasn't just low quality. In Google's eyes, it was completely worthless.
Okay, so this brings us to the why. Why did this AI site just completely implode? Well, it's because Google fundamentally changed the rule book. They rolled out new tech and totally new standards for what they even consider to be valuable content anymore.
The first piece of the puzzle is something called SGE, or the Search Generative Experience. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Before, Google was like a librarian who would point you to a bunch of different books, websites, to find your answer. Now, Google is trying to be the expert itself. It's trying to be the one who reads all the books for you and then just gives you the answer directly in this AI-powered summary at the very top of the page. And to figure out which information is the best to put in those AI answers, Google is now using this quality standard they call EEAT. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Basically, in a world that is now flooded with generic AI content, Google is asking one simple question. Can you prove a real human being with real first-hand experience actually wrote this? That's the new cost of admission.
This really shows you the massive shift. We're going from the classic 10 blue links, where your whole goal was to just get someone to click, to this new world where Google often just gives the answer right there on the page. And that makes all that generic, good enough filler content totally irrelevant. I mean, if your article doesn't offer something deeper or more insightful than what Google's own AI can summarize, why would anyone ever need to click on it?
Okay, so if pumping out tons of AI content is a losing game, what's the winning one? This brings us to the new playbook. And the first, most important chapter is all about building real, undeniable authority. The kind of brand that Google's new EEAT algorithm is literally designed to find and reward.
This table really lays out the two roads you can go down. On one side, you've got the illicit aggregator. That's the old school black hat way of doing things. It's all built on stolen content, keyword stuffing, and being totally anonymous. There are zero EEAT signals. And on the other side, you have the legitimate hub. This path is built on original content, real expert analysis, clear author bios, the whole 9 yards. One is a short-term gamble that's probably going to get you smashed. The other is a long-term brand. And Google is now making it very, very clear which one it prefers.
Now, this doesn't mean AI is useless. Not at all. It just means its job has changed. It's not the author anymore. It's the world's best research assistant. The modern way to create content uses AI for all the heavy lifting, generating outlines, helping structure your ideas. But the most important step, the one you can't skip, is that last one, where a human expert comes in and injects their personal experience, their unique insights, their voice. It's a human-AI team-up. And here is a perfect example of what that team-up looks like. On the left, you've got the raw AI draft. Dune Part 2 is a visually stunning film. The acting is good. Many people liked it. I mean, it's true, but it's also completely bland and soulless. Now look at the right. The human expert adds real perspective, transcends the typical sequel, achieving a sense of mythic grandeur. Greg Fraser's cinematography turns Arrakis into a character. See? That is the experience and expertise, the first two letters of EEAT that AI just can't fake.
So now that we get the foundation, it's all about authority, let's go back to our classic traffic driving tools. How do things like paid ads and social media fit into this new EEAT-driven world? Well, the tools themselves haven't really changed, but how we use them has to, completely.
Let's take pay-per-click ads. In this new playbook, PPC isn't about just blasting links everywhere. It's a precision instrument for finding your real audience. You can target exactly who you want to reach, and you get instant, measurable feedback on what they actually care about. This isn't about gaming an algorithm. It's about using data to build an actual business and really understand your customers. And guess what? That helps you create even better, more authoritative content down the line.
And the exact same idea applies to social media. The shift is so radically towards just being human. Just look at the difference here. What's working? Stuff that feels real, short-form video, funny memes, visual slideshows, even just opinion threads. What's falling flat? That super polished corporate video that looks like a TV commercial, or those text-heavy infographics nobody reads. People want to connect with other people, not with a faceless logo.
And that brings us to the final and honestly the most important piece of this new playbook. After all this talk about algorithms and AI and EEAT, the real secret to success in 2025 has nothing to do with technology. It's all about psychology. It's about cracking the human connection code.
So why do people actually hit that share button? It's not random. There is a science to it. We share things that spark strong emotions, awe, humor, even anger. We share things that make us look smart or in the know, what they call social currency. We share things we can relate to, things that are genuinely helpful, or things that just totally surprise us. So for a minute, forget about the Google algorithm. The ultimate algorithm you need to figure out is human nature.
This quote really just wraps up the entire new playbook perfectly. AI gives you the tools, but you are the architect. Build something that lasts. AI and all these other technologies, they're amazing tools, unbelievably powerful, but that's all they are. Tools. You're still the architect. Your job is to use them to build something real, something with a solid foundation, something that actually provides value, something that's built to last.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to think about. For everything you do online, ask yourself this. Are you building your website for an algorithm, or are you building it for people? Because right now, in 2025, for the first time in a very long time, the answer to both of those questions is finally the exact same thing.